welcome to Robin Miller Cooks. Today I'm going to share with you one of my favorite strategies from my Food Network show, Quick Fix Meals. It was morphing it. That's where you take one meal that you plan ahead for. So you make a little bit of extra so you have leftovers so you can transform them into something completely different later on in the week. So today we're going to do potato crusted chicken where the potatoes get golden brown on top of chicken that roasts in the oven. And then you take the leftover potato crusted chicken and you turn it into a chicken stew with carrots and celery and onion and egg noodles and two completely different meals, one chicken. You're going to love both. Here's how you do it. First, I'm going to start with the chicken. These are, as you can tell, very large chicken breasts. They're about, I'd say, a half pound each, and you need just about a pound or a pound and a half for the whole recipe. So what I'm going to do is cut them in half as if I were butterflying, but I am going to cut all the way through, and that way I have 4 equal pieces. You can also get 4 4-ounce chicken breast halves and do that too, but the reason I'm cutting it this way and not in half this way is because I want more surface area to cover with potatoes. Okay, so now you've got 2 equal pieces of chicken here, and then I'll do the other one. Okay, I've got 4 equal pieces of chicken. I'm going to season them all with a little bit of salt and pepper. Get that first layer of flavor right down on there. And then I'm going to transfer them to a foil-lined baking sheet that I've already coated with cooking spray. That makes cleanup a breeze. Okay, now for the topping. To make the second layer for the chicken, I'm going to have about 1 to 2 tablespoons of ketchup. This adds a lot of flavor, and you want to think about the things that go with potatoes. I've got about a tablespoon of mayonnaise. And you know, in France, they dip French fries in mayonnaise and ketchup. And then I've got a little bit of Dijon mustard. And then that was about a teaspoon. And then I'm just going to mix that all together. And then we can brush this right on top of the chicken before we put the potato layer on top. Okay, that's well blended. So now I'll show you how you prep the potatoes. We'll set that aside. I like to use Yukon Gold potatoes. Let me move you out of the way. But you can really use any potato that you like. So I'll just take the end off, and then I want to make very thin slices. And if you see a little mark like that, we either don't use the piece or we just slice it off. We're going to be layering these so you can hide any uneven pieces. You'll see what I mean. It's like shingles, rooftop shingles. Okay, the potatoes all sliced into even slices. Now I'll show you how to assemble the chicken. Okay, the first thing you want to do is take that wonderful ketchup, mayonnaise, and Dijon mustard mixture and spread that right on top of the seasoned chicken. Get it all on there, okay? And then you just start fanning the potatoes on top of the chicken. It looks so pretty as it cooks. So keep going all the way down. All right, the last potato slice on top of the chicken. Now I'm going to spray the top with olive oil cooking spray and season the potatoes on top with salt and pepper. You can see 2 of the chicken breasts are much larger than the other 2, but because I cut them, they should cook at the same time and temperature. And then we'll have leftovers to make that second meal. Okay, perfectly seasoned. So the oven's preheated to 400 degrees, and I'm going to pop these in for about 20 to 25 minutes until the chicken's cooked through and the potatoes are golden brown. There's the beautiful chicken from the oven. Can you see why I wanted to use foil-lined baking sheet? Because all this will be easy cleanup. That's the sugars from the ketchup that just gets blackened on the pan, but the chicken is perfect. I'll show you how to plate it. I like to put the beautiful chicken on a plate. Just garnish with a little fresh parsley, and we're ready to roll. Now I get to show you what we do with the leftovers. First, I'm going to start by heating up about a tablespoon of olive oil in a large, high-sided pan. Let that get hot. Okay, I added onions, celery, and carrots to the hot oil, and then we're just going to let that cook for a couple of minutes until it gets soft. Okay, the onions, carrots, and celery are starting to get soft. They're starting to get a little bit brown. So that's when I want to add some seasonings. I'm going to add a little bit of salt, some black pepper. I'm going to add some oregano, and I like to add the dried oregano and the dried thyme now to get them to release their flavors into the broth that I'm going to add next. Give that a stir. Okay. So it's coated. I like to say cook until you can smell the dried herbs, and I can smell the aroma of both the thyme and the oregano now, so I know they're releasing their flavors into the dish. And now here's what I did with the chicken. I cut the potatoes and I cut the chicken, the leftover chicken, and there you have it. So this was the leftover chicken breast, and as much as you have left over, as little as much, you can just throw it right on in here. So we're going to add the chicken and potatoes right in. And remember, we've got that extra flavor from ketchup and Dijon mustard. There was some mayo in there, and it was already seasoned. So isn't that the great base for a stew already? And we are using leftovers. Okay, so now I'm going to add about 8 ounces of cooked, these are wide elbow noodles, already cooked. Just took about 8 minutes. You can use extra wide. Give that a stir. Okay, now we're going to add broth, chicken broth, and this is where you can add as much or as little as you want. If you like it really brothy, you add a lot. If you want it to be more like mostly noodles, like we like in our house, then you add a little less. And then really everything's cooked. The noodles are cooked, the chicken's cooked, the potatoes roasted in the oven. All the flavors are there, and everything is cooked, so you just need to heat this through for a minute or two. Simmering away. Isn't this beautiful? These are not your mama's leftovers. Actually, they're kind of like my mama's. She made really good leftovers. So right before serving, the last thing I do is put about 2 tablespoons of chopped fresh parsley in there. The fresh parsley really just makes the whole dish pop. And there you have it. That's dish number 2. Beautiful. So easy, too. So there you go. That's how we morph. First, we made the potato crusted chicken with the ketchup and the mayonnaise and the Dijon mustard. That came out great. And then we used the leftover chicken with the potato crust to make this fabulous stew with egg noodles, carrots, celery, and onions, and some herbs. 2 completely different dinners, 1 chicken. That's how you morph, and I love to morph, and I have a lot more. So come back, subscribe, and I will see you next time.